Hey guys, welcome to my stream where we're going to solve problems in real-time coding, advanced Python on a real production grade product. And it's a product where we are working on redefining the stack to change the way we code AI and products based on AI. All right, so let's jump right in. So today what we're going to be doing is, the repo has an issue. So if you see here, I've got somehow I broke the automated tests 4 days ago. I didn't notice. I pushed a change that I thought passed, but I guess it didn't pass. So I'm going to try to figure out what the heck's going on and fix it. All right. So let me let's just get right in there. Okay. What was this test? All right. So first thing I do is let's look at the diff to see if I can glean any insights, right? So this is a compiler for a language that supersets Python that has features for what I expect to be the future of programming, large-scale AI applications and software in general. So here we've got the abstract syntax tree where I changed this node, the subnode list, which collects AST nodes. I added a left enclosure and right enclosure. I'm not crazy about these names because enc usually means encoding, but really I'm adding the tokens to the left and right enclosure because subnode lists could be used for like code block bodies, right, where it's braces for a code block, or it could be, a list of elements in a list value, right? And so that list would have left and right enclosures, which would be brackets, or the L squares is what I call them. So those are all tokens. And so I added that because I'm creating an unparse. I wanted to capture some of that information in the AST because static analysis is very important in this language. And the tokens, being able to encode some of the tokens in the AST is useful for some of the analyses and the transformations that I want to support. Traditionally, you don't have tokens, unnecessary tokens, in your AST, but those are guidelines, not rules, right? We maintain them here so that I can do some validation of the AST and then validate transformations to Jack AST against legit Jack programs. And so if we're going to lift Python into Jack, or we're going to lift just JavaScript into the Jack, which could happen in the future, or we lift some other language, Mojo into Jack, we might want to be able to validate that what's at that AST can become a legitimate Jack program. And so there's some analyses for which this would be useful. So we lost that information as to what was the enclosure because it's actually not useful in the traditional AST, but I brought it back in this PR. Of course, this is a design decision that could change again in the future there's many different, you can write a pass that'll reformulate these tokens instead of building it into the AST, but we'll leave that decision for another time. This was the one that made sense for us right now. And you could also do some automated testing against the parser of the language. All kinds of cool stuff you can do with this design decision you could do. And there's very few places that we need to remember because you can usually infer the code from just the nature of what the AST node is. But this is a special kind of node that isn't commonly, it's a special kind of node that is reused for different types of collection parsable elements of the language. So I added that. I don't know why this would be breaking. Quite truthfully, I went to this code to remember. I looked at this PR diff to remember exactly what the heck, why was this particular commit. But really, the first thing you'd want to do, let's check the linting test to see what broke in linting. In linting, there was trailing white space. Did I do a no? I must have done a commit with no verify. So Git lets you, so I'm using pre-commit, right? So pre-commit will not let you commit unless it sanity checks your code, passes certain checks. One of those checks is to trim trailing white space that's unnecessary, just cleanliness. Of course, black. It tries to validate that it's black formatted and formats it if it's not. And then I also do like linting, where we have a number of linting errors, and then I also do MyPy, which is the type check pass, for which we have a number. Oh, where we have a number of these, MyPy type check passes. The thing that I'm really shocked by is somehow I must have accidentally committed this file, because this particular commit shouldn't even have this file, this fuse type info pass. And this is essentially a pass that's going to raise MyPy type information and imbue the Jack AST with that MyPy types. So let me see here. This is not good, because it must mean I must have been crazy when I did this, because that should be a PR and that should not be on main. So that's an issue. Beyond that, so let me look at the commit history. Beyond that, so these all passed. I never merged. I haven't merged in the last week, let's say, the fuse type check pass into main. I'm just surprised that fuse type check pass is in main. Pure classes are now pure. Removed unnecessary is func flag. And abilities, these are very... Did I do it here? No. So, I mean, we could just check that particular commit, which I did directly on main. I don't see... Oh, so perhaps... Oh, well, let's just check out main and then just look at the code, because I'm very perplexed. So we had those errors. Those are linting errors. Let's look at the run test errors details. I gotta have my coffee. So in run test, we have two fails. These two test lang tools, and this is failing here with it's failing in this location of the file, which is in a lang tools file where we have various kind of useful debug print outputs that is linked to the command line. Add method to class. Let's see. It's a value error. So we have some node that is corrupt. This is in the MyPy. I think it's related to some of the so this is the type check pass stuff. So this could be related to some code that I'm really surprised is on main at the moment. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let's simplify first. Let's look at basically this is the commit that caused this issue. And so let's look at this diff, which it could be some kind of fluke that those tests fail, because none of these files correspond to like fuse type check pass, right? Which we saw cause linting errors, which kind of is a perplexing situation. So let's just jump right in. I'm gonna go to jacklang, and then I'm gonna do code, start VS Code, and let's just get right in there. Okay, just shrink that a bit. So the first thing we want to do here is git diff, git checkout main. Okay, git pull just in case. Okay, so we're on main. I'll do a jack clean, because jack clean actually, so jack actually generates some temporary files when you run Jack programs. Like it caches bytecode. Like MyPy does this. Python does this by generating Pi cache. And so Jack Clean just removes Jack's cached stuff. I do this as a habit whenever I check out the code base, so that I don't have runs that are using old or wrongly cached stuff from another branch. Okay. Let's see. So let's just run MyPy. Let's run PyTest. That's the first thing we'd want to analyze here. In principle, all the tests on main should pass. So let's see if this passes. All right, come on, fingers crossed. We expect 2 to not pass. I could have precisely just ran that one set of passes. I think it was in test language, langtools. I'll just go to langtools while this is running. This is good to do a thorough pass. The type check pass stuff works. Let me also load up this fuse type info. I'm surprised that's on main. What? I don't see it on main. What? Fuse. Oh, MyPy type fuse? No, that's a markdown. I don't even see the file here on main. Oh, that's really weird. If this passes, I'll be very confused. Let's see. Git branch main. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it passed. Alright, so something's up at main, dudes. Like, I don't know what happened. Could this be an issue in GitHub? Like, this is main. Could GitHub be wrong? Let's find out. So what I'm going to do here, because here, this is wild. I'm on main here. There's no difference. Git status and then git log. Look, I'm on main. The refactor slightly improved parser design. Refactored slightly improved parser design for subnode list. Play improve subnode list. I'm on head main origin head. We're like synced. We're like perfectly synced. There's no git status will tell us that you're on branch, your branch is up to date, nothing to commit, working tree is clean. Everything's good. My test passed locally. I don't have the fuse type info that we just saw. There's fuse comment class, but there's no fuse type info, which I wouldn't expect to be in there. However, when we look at the linting, let's say, the linting has, check this out. It has Jacklang compiler passes main fuse type info pass. How is this possible? The only explanation is somehow we've exposed a bug in GitHub, because this file must have been conjured out of, because I don't have that. Let's just check. Let's just check. Main. Do we see a fuse type anything? Def impl match, def use, import pass, pygen ast pass, ast load, py bytecode gen pass, py out pass, schedules, subnode, subtab, build, type check pass. Okay. This is failing on compiler passes main fuse type info pass, which is not on this list, which is compiler passes main, and I'm synced. So this might get fixed. This might get fixed if I just rerun them. This was a long journey to just rerun it. Maybe that should be part of the algorithm. Actions. Oh man, so I gotta remember this interface. Where do I go to like rerun this stuff again? Here, no. Is it like it's actions? Run, just rerun. Let's do no linting and pre-commit checks. How do I just rerun it on this branch? Jeez. Jacklang. Usually it's like you hit this X and there was like a rerun. Oh, okay, let's see if I can find it. Commit. Here we go. Let's look at. All right. No, you can go here, and then you can rerun jobs. Okay, rerun all jobs. Let's go. Rerun jobs. Let's do it. All right, Mister. All right, we're gonna let that run. So, okay. Well, this one might be a quick one because I don't have to do anything. Maybe if it's just a GitHub issue, and not a GitHub issue, an issue with GitHub. So, all right, it's running. So this might just be the tests, but we'll run the linter too. Like my linter probably works fine. So if you want to just run your linter locally when you're using pre-commit, you can just do pre-commit dash run no dash and then dash all files or something. All files? Yeah, that's it. So you just rerun everything. MyPy, no trailing. Look. My linting stuff is good. No trailing thing. Black is good. Flake 8, all of my custom Flake 8 stuff passes. So that was just weird. That's just weird. I'm assuming this is going to pass because it kind of defies logic that main would work locally and not in GitHub. But I do know that there's other branches that it's possible the CI/CD testing in GitHub has a bug and GitHub accidentally ran the wrong branch. Maybe it's a race condition where they have, like maybe that branch was running and main needed to run too, and then somehow they were launched at the same time because multiple branches are being changed, and then there was a little branch race condition where it tried to run my main job and then ran the other branches CI/CD, which is a continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous CI/CD. I forget, but everybody just calls it CI/CD right now. So it's like, oh man, it's like TDD or something. All right. So that's where workflow takes a minute. Oh man. Usually, can't you see the output while it's running? Yeah, there we go. So this is the output as it runs, which is kind of my thing, but they're running on some kind of wimpy processor probably. Oh, wimpier than my machine probably. This is a 11, no, I think it's, no, this is a 13900K processor, Intel. But, okay. If this passes, we'll be good. All right. Okay, we're getting close. Test man code. Okay, cool. Test reference. Sweet. Then there should be like a test lang tools that hits. Man, 4 minutes. Cool. So I think what I'm gonna do next after this is I'm gonna try to have like a meeting or two, and then I'll come back and we'll hack on that. Well, actually, that type fuse pass, that particular branch, we'll hack on that next. Let's see. Okay. What happened? Is this still running? Jeez, this is slow. Well, in the meantime, let me just make sure. Okay. Let me just take a quick look at, let's open up a new screen here. I cannot wait for this check mark to go away. I guess, one thing we could do is talk a little bit about configuring your GitHub repo to do some continuous testing or test on a push. So you can set up GitHub Actions. It's a very useful tool. It's kind of like a must-have, really, in my opinion. Wow, this is still running. Jeez. Oh, this is part of the type check pass thing that's running. Uh, mm, it's early. 7:30. All right. Well, okay, okay. I'm really surprised here. What the hell is happening? Please, please, please don't show me some nonsense that doesn't exist. This is so perplexing. Because frankly, this code, how can I have... Is my branch corrupt somehow? I mean, like, I don't understand. Integrated the latest main changes. Oh, maybe I was running the wrong thing, dude. Dude, let's see. What? This one. Alright, let's run the linter. Linter is faster. Rerun. Rerun all jobs. No, let's do rerun field jobs. Rerun jobs. What is up, dude? That's kind of wild. So, oh, it's cute. So I don't understand why it would happen again. Maybe it's not a race condition, but it's some kind of perm condition. Cause let me try something. Get clean -xdf. So what this does is it deletes any file in the entire repository that is just extra files that are git ignored that isn't on main. So now we literally have complete parity to what this is running. The environments are synced. This is Python 3.12. And that wouldn't even matter for some of these errors that it's kind of complaining about, the Python version. But it's Python 3.12. If I see fuse, where is this file coming from? Fuse type info pass. Why is it failing on this file, dudes? If I'm synced to main. And we have the trailing white space. That makes no sense. Let me just check. Bros. Let me just check. All right, look at this. Look at this. All right, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna find that fuse type info file name, and then we will scan. We will literally click through to see if we can find it when we click through GitHub. Here's the file. Jack Lang compiler passes main fuse type info. This file should not exist in what this is testing. Let's take a look. Jack Lang compiler, right? That's where it was supposed to be. Jack Lang compiler passes main fuse type info pass.py. DDI, we should see a F. That file is not in the repo. WTF, guys. That's wild. I actually don't even know what to do next. Let's look at the GitHub actions. Like, I'm assuming it's something that I can fix. Let's look at the GitHub actions. Workflows, pre-commit. Pre-commit. This is the world's cleanest pre-commit file. It installs its branch main, so it's going to run the pre-commit, which is the linting stuff that runs locally on mine. It'll run that on the main branch. It's going to use Ubuntu latest, whatever. This is the container that the test will run in. It checks out the code with GitHub Actions, check out GitHub's infrastructure. Sets up Python version. So this is also a GitHub action to set up Python version. This is version 2 of the GitHub action, which is just GitHub's versioning stuff. Python version 3.1.2, install pre-commit, pip install pre-commit, run pre-commit, run all files. Clean branch, everything's clean, nothing weird. This is what's running. Now, like, this is really, really frustrating, right? Because like, literally, this shit is not, it's outside of my realm of control. Because there's some file that it's failing on that's literally not in main branch. But that file, however, is in another branch called, what's the branch called? Oh, geez. It's like, I'm trying to find it. I think it says Fuse in the name. Fuse. It's not here. Where is that branch? The fuck? Let me see something. What? I mean, it should be a PR. It is a branch. I know I'm looking at PRs, but it should be pull requested. I don't see it though. Oh, it's this one, absorbing type information. Yeah. So in this particular branch, which is being worked on, there is a fuse type. We should see an add of fuse type info. Yeah, this is the test. This is the pass. So this is the branch that adds this pass into Jack Lang compiler passes main. We add this particular pass here, and this is where we're getting our check mark, which is supposed to be running on main, is complaining that that file is got issues, which I would expect it to have issues because I think that file is this. So here's my new theory. And I'm going to send this video to GitHub to debug this shit if this works. I'm going to try this thing. If it works, this is a really big issue in GitHub. They probably already know about it. Here's my theory. There's a little bit of main branch storage confusion at GitHub's cloud in their stack. So somehow Gamal, who's working on this, who's like the main contributor working on this particular branch, somehow Gamal, really awesome dude, somehow Gamal, when he's working and committing stuff, his push to his branch caused something to happen where his branch was stored as main in GitHub's cloud. So that's my latest theory. So how do you fix that? Well, I'm just going to do a nonsense commit. I'll do a nonsense commit on main, direct to main, and see if we get a check mark and watch the test pass. And if we do get a check mark, that's some amount of interesting evidence to support that theory, which is interesting. All right, now I'm going to do git diff, git clean. I'm just doing another git clean for fun. XDF, clear, everything's synced, git status, right, git log, okay. So what should we change to do a nonsense commit? Let's add a word to the docs somewhere. Let's just go to like guide. Let's just like, Jack is all up, here we go, Python's apostrophe S. Git diff. Okay, so we have a simple diff. I added an apostrophe to Pythons in the docs. And I'm going to push this to main. Git add dot git commit -m. Let's call it, what? Is this a test? No, is this I could never figure this out. A refactor? Doc? Let's call it docs. Is it doc or docs? I forget this crap. Docs, whatever, doesn't matter. improving grammar tweak, but really a test of GitHub to expose potential bug. Okay, git push. Okay, now I did a push. Now main is updated. The main branch is updated in GitHub's cloud. That would trigger a rerun of pre-commit and the testing, which it's running right now. And let's just watch, because if this doesn't fix it, we live in the Twilight Zone. Yeah, we live in the Twilight Zone if this doesn't fix it. You know what I'm saying? That means there's like some kind of like permanent, like we hate. Oh look, trim trailing white paste passed. Sweet. So we don't live in the Twilight Zone. This is some amount of interesting evidence that the bug that was recently stated exists in GitHub stack. I think I'm gonna file a bug. And I think, you know, when I post this to YouTube, I'd be like, I found a bug in GitHub. Here's the bug real time. And then I'll send that video to him. We'll see. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so this is passing. Pre-commit passed, dude. Like, it's running to my Pi now. That takes a little bit more time, but we don't have the issues. Flake 8, no Flake 8 issues. No trim trailing wipe space issues. Pre-commit has a check mark now, so we're good. I think it's probably running the tests still. So we won't have a full check mark, but we're running the test still. And this will probably pass. I'm very confident because clearly we're actually on main. It's actually running a pre-commit on main. If this is user error, I'll do a follow-up video. I hope GitHub, if you're watching, and it's a user error, just let me know. I'll do a video and be like, oh shit, I was wrong. But there's no way, right? There's no way. I clicked on main, the X here, and then reran it. And then it failed with files that isn't in main, on files that isn't in main. So, yeah, it's hard to imagine this is human error. But, you know, I've been surprised in the past of silly things that I forgot to do. So, you know, but I'm pretty sure it's not the case here. I think it's a real issue. Okay, wait. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, it's running. We'll be in the clear. We're almost there. We're on reference. So, oh, look, passed. Oh, man, that's so beautiful. All right, so we should have our check mark as soon as we get the check mark here. There it is. We should have a check mark here. Okay, so, okay, cool. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. I thought I was going to actually have to, like, do some coding, but I guess I did some debugging, and I was debugging GitHub. So anyway, all right, cool. I think that's good. I gotta go grab another cup of coffee, and I'll be doing some more videos today. I'm gonna try to do a lot of coding, lots to get through. I mean, look at the number of PRs we have here. Like a whole bunch of these are just waiting on me. Awaiting review from you, like all these. So I'm gonna try to like get through those. Cool, awesome. All right, well. Until next time, guys, and thanks for watching. Peace.